Hello, everyone. My name is Shea Richburg. I am the co-founder and CEO of FutureWise Group, and I'm so excited to be here.
Diversified Game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I'm excited because I get to talk AI. You guys know I love talking AI, and that I found Shea, named after the stadium. She's going to give us the game on what she's doing in AI. So hopefully you guys can learn how she started, sustained, and is succeeding way into the future. The best is yet to come. Shea, welcome to the show. 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, what's up?
Hi, Kellen. How are you? It's so nice to meet you. I'm so grateful that you asked me to be on the show. I'm excited, and I can't wait to talk to you today.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. Always blessed by the best over here. Let the people know when they think AI and people think tech, they typically don't picture a Shea. They might not think of a Kellen either. So, let them know what you're doing and how it can help them possibly make some money, some progress.
Okay. Well, they typically don't think of the Shea and Kellens, but we are here, people. And I'm out here trying to train companies and individuals on how to implement AI technologies within their companies or their systems, or to really help them as individuals. When I like to sit down and talk with my clients, I said we're going to put in less time but get greater impact when we use AI. And that's what companies are really looking for. And so a lot of people come to me, they ask for trainings or modules to help them learn AI, how to work with the AI. I always tell people, I'm not here to help people replace humans. I am all for humans. I am here to help people learn how to work with the AI, to upgrade their skills, and for companies to just save time and efficiency with their current employees. So that's ultimately what I do.
And what type, before people start hitting you up, because people like to kick around the tires and say, what can you do for me, almost to the point now where they want you to have it already done before they buy, which is an interesting concept, right? Because you never go to the restaurant and say, let me taste it before I order. But who are your typical clients, and what type of things are you building? Because the space is so vast. You might do one great thing on this end and then have team members who do a whole nother thing, that are whole nother companies that you work with.
That's true. I started out years ago in this space. I started doing more of the metaverse actually. And then we've worked more into specifically like AI tools. So for example, if you're a business owner, you would come and talk to me about a lot of people ask how to think smarter, how to make more money. So then we will sit down. It's very individualized because Kellen, like you said, everybody needs different things. AI can help in different ways. And, and so what we do is we'll sit and see what you need. And so I might construct the AI agent for you. That might be an agent that helps you take phone calls. It might help you in marketing, depending on who your future clients are. We might use AI to target your clients and to get you more clients. We might use a voice augmentation or an avatar, actually, if you want to take in new clients and you don't want to do a face-to-face, you're busy with existing clients. So we might do that. Or we might actually create modules for people who want to learn on AI. And that's usually for younger kids too, because I really, really am passionate about upgrading the skills of our children. Okay. And I don't think that they're really learning as much in school. And so we have done learning modules for them on how to work with AI or ChatGTP, on how not to rely 100% on AI, but for AI to elevate your skills and your work that you are doing. Okay. We don't want AI to do the work for us. We don't want any plagiarism, but we want people to learn how to upgrade again with AI. So it could be a small business owner helping them with their time, helping them make money through AI, help them with their portfolio, help them get better websites. Believe it or not, some people, still aren't secure with their websites, or there are new companies that, bounce up every day. So we use AI in a vast range capacity, just depending on the business owner Or if you're a really big company, we actually work with them in getting ChatGPT working with their employees and how to maximize their time. We work with company owners how to build out better emails, faster response to people, and we don't leave any food on the table. We want all our entrepreneurs and companies to really be accessible to anyone who's looking for them, right? But then we know people are busy. So we help them balance. Overall, we help them maintain and balance and make more money.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
Now, you talked about the metaverse, and you are certified in the metaverse. So it's not just, sometimes people throw around words and then you go on their profiles or you talk to them and it's like they don't know anything. And most people who are claiming to say blockchain, everything has to be on the blockchain, have no idea what that is. And you might have some one-on-one consulting to have them go deep. But I want to let people know that you have been tested at least in this, and that you've been doing it for more than an afternoon. Can you let the people know who don't maybe have a website, so they're so far off from AI, because AI could build your website right now in 60 seconds or less, right? You guys,
Yeah.
Links might be in the description or how you do that. Durable, Lovable, so many platforms. But
Right.
what are they missing with not having a website or having proper AI? Because some people are like, I've been in business 13 years and what are you talking about it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it type mentality.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. A lot of business owners do feel that way. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I'm going to take you back to a time when we just went through, COVID and everything was shut down, right? And so business could not stop. Some businesses stop, but you still need to connect with your clients. You still, you have deadlines that you still need to meet. And so I tell people in the future, it may not be as much about a brick and mortar company also, and everybody doesn't get that capital, right? To start out with that brick and mortar. So you have to be as efficient and professional as possible virtually, as if you had that brick and mortar company, for example, it's not even about the brick and mortar. If you have a law firm and you have people who come all the time, and lawyers cannot talk to people all the time, they don't know if they're the right client for them, they can take the case. What if you had an avatar or some type of welcoming on your website that you can talk to the person, you can schedule a call, you can figure out what the situation is before even jumping on a face-to-face call with that person? So AI is really here to keep you going. AI is here to actually help bring the people who want your product and service that you didn't even know needed you. That's what it is. It's really to expand your reach that you can't do without AI. That's just a fact. That's not a myth. It's not an urban legend. That's a fact. So you really want to get in front of the right people. And if you're not using AI, you're only limiting yourself. You don't want one potential client to get away. I keep telling people this. And so, they need to know how to get in front of the right audience. Don't waste time on the inaccurate, audience who really don't need their product. And then you want to make sure that you conversate and interact with people who are looking for your product or your service. You don't want anyone to get away. And this goes into people in like lawn care, for example, people who are more hands-on, who are sole proprietors, who possibly, they're, hands-on in the business and they're taking phone calls. So when I say, the old school way is really going further and further apart, it really is, because you're losing out on clients and you're not reaching your full potential on the new possible, money and clients. That's really what you need it for. And you need your time. We all need our time. We live in a really busy society. I'm busy too, and AI helps me tremendously, from emails, responding to people, to my schedules. So, without it, it just really elevates my balance in life, and people need that, Kellen. There's no way around it.
And people hear this talk sometimes and they say, okay, you look like me, you sound like me, whatever the case may be. I just like your background. They say, well, what is this metaverse thing? Because I see my kids maybe playing Roadblocks. Is that the metaverse? But then I hear meta. Can you let them know, for the end user, for the person who just goes on Facebook or YouTube and they just click buttons, what is the metaverse? And, what are some startup costs for them to get started? Because they get intimidated sometimes before they call you or I, and they expect these big, budgets that they might not have. Some of them have it because they're driving around in fancy cars, right? And with platinum teeth. But the majority of people are just trying to take their extra 500, 1,000, maybe even $10,000 and build something massive.
Right. So basically, the metaverse is just a digital platform where you can create an avatar or a replication or something that represents yourself and put it into a digital space. It's quite easy. And you can get on the metaverse, using your phone. You can use a computer, you can use a laptop. So some people have this stigma and they think you need like goggles, like meta goggles or something to get in the metaverse. Or they even think of that when it's AI, and it's really not that advanced. It's quite simplistic, okay? And people will see that we're going to be forced a bit more to get savvier with AI. The metaverse was huge, huge, huge. The metaverse ultimately, as I said, is like you said, Roblox. It's you having representation of yourself in this digital world. It's very easy to jump on platforms, to have this avatar. And in these platforms, you can create spaces, you can create artwork in this platform. It can be private areas within there. For example, there were a couple of artists, and this was amazing, that were actually creating concerts in the metaverse during COVID. And somebody I was working with, she created actually a lot of spaces for artists to come, and somebody actually wanted after party, a digital after party after their concert. And so there's unlimited uses to the metaverse. I love it. Even companies were using it for after hour spaces or just to get to know people. And so again, it's really taking you from out of your home and connecting with the people you need to connect to. It can be in a private space or in an open space, and it's not expensive at all, and then creating in the metaverse, that can be quite simple or it can be intricate. It's depending on what you're looking for. I remember one time I interviewed somebody. She was an artist and she created an art piece and she wanted to replicate that art piece in the metaverse. So it was like a Japanese sunset years ago. And so she created this space so people can see her artwork in the metaverse. It was amazing. And so people really use it. They were using it to monetize it. They were using it as a safe space too, a really creative safe space. Another example I have to tell you that I know schools actually were using it. I was working with somebody also who was working on getting a replica of the rainforests in Brazil and bringing that to kids at school. So during COVID, they were trying to expand the type of class trips they were having, Kellen. So it really takes you all over. It does. And I was working on a couple of museums that I loved. I personally love the museums. I was working on an African American museum one time that really transcend, a lot of the culture and what was happening. And so I kind of used for myself, not for my clients, I used the metaverse as a time capsule too, a digital time capsule. And because it's so visual, it takes you to another place. And so I always tell people, I encourage people to just jump on. It's very cheap. There's lots of platforms. Don't be scared. Do not be scared, because as we have today, people are paying their bills online. People are going to be doing more and more things online, digitally. They've been talking about there's no longer going to be in the future of 5-day work day. It will probably be a 3-day work day. I know a lot of people who work with teams who are not in the state with them, right? So you need these type of platforms, either the metaverse or some type of AI tool to connect with these people. There's no reason to be scared, and there's no reason not to elevate yourself using this. Okay. Again, you use less time, but you exceed your expectations using AI with clients, with interfacing with people. The metaverse is the same.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster. 𝐿𝐼𝐼 gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit 𝐿𝐼𝐼 today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
And with that, I think of the Jetsons, and I believe you and I are around the same age when I looked at your schooling. And so we've really seen, from the computer, the changes in the smartphone. And I think of the Jetsons because, George's hardest job was dealing with Mr. Spacely, yelling at him and pushing a red button. What do you see with, with that 3-day work week? Are we then, getting paid higher salaries, or has rent and mortgages totally changed? Or are we all nomads traveling around and enjoying our best life, whether it's on the beach or in the mountains? What's your vision?
Well, I kept my crystal ball upstairs, so I can't tell you precisely. So I'm just gonna go off of what I'm thinking at the moment. I believe that work for companies will decrease so that people have more flexibility to start businesses. We are seeing people leaving the workforce in huge numbers, and it didn't just happen. It's really happened since COVID, okay? And it's never been the same regardless, okay? And so I think we're seeing people leave the workforce, and a big part of that is because of AI. So what we need to see, and what I feel like I'm seeing, is there's more business owners being created and now using AI for themselves. And even if you are still working a 9 to 5 and you're not working those 5 days a week, I think that gives you flexibility to have, a business where you can control your capital and your finance. And that's where I think we're going. I think we're going to go into a more lax society. They've thrown around terms of universal income. I don't think it's going to be a society really around, working 9 to 5. I think people need a service, they need a skill, and they need to get out there and market themselves. They need to create groups too. They need to create, that's the future. If you have a group of people who will listen to you, a group of people who trust you, a group of people who will buy your products, that's the future. So it's really about, connecting with like-minded people, getting some type of service and product and putting yourself out there, because, ultimately you can be at a job for 20 years and be gone tomorrow. I mean, we see a lot of companies, I think, are coming down. Things are shifting. There's a big shift going on. And what was the norm, 5 years ago is not going to be the norm in the future. There's certain aspects we're just not going back to. Right. And so, as I said, AI is replacing some of these workers, and it's happening from, maybe low-end jobs to CEOs. I actually think that CEOs are going to be replaced by AI as well. We might be talking to a robot who's making all those financial decisions, honestly, and people need to look at it in that aspect. So then they need to figure out what type of services maybe they need to purchase. A lot of people have been boycotting different businesses over the years. So maybe this is your opportunity to come up with some product that maybe, Walmart or Target or, JCPenney's that's, leaving, or Macy's has, and then you come up with the alternative. And then you can use AI to reach people and balance your work-life career. So I think that's where we're going. I really do. I think that's an overall look as where we're going. AI is going to continue to displace, people on the job. Not everyone, but if that happens, people need to have skills. They have to have their skills. Even if you're a plumber, even if you are a plumber, blue collar jobs, you still need a website. You still need to connect with the people in your area and let them know, hey, this is my service, this is my product, right? You need to email people as fast as possible. You need that avatar to, pick up the phone and say, let's talk, what's your issue? Everyone needs this, Kellen, and we're not going away from this. So people need to be aware, don't be scared, move forward, but really look for that product and service that you need and have AI help you implement that, okay? And you will be fine in the future. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Join us on an exciting journey with Explore the World Cameroon. London and Sydney go take you explore Cameroon, the heart of Africa. Experience the vibrant culture, nature, and traditions from Yaoundé market to rainforest adventures. Every page na new discovery. Join the Cameroonian food, music, and wildlife with our explorers. This book na true celebration of Cameroon spirit. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and through your library and bookstores near Ingram's Park. Don't miss this adventure.
You will be fine in the future. There you go.
And they want to know, so what should I be telling my kids to study? And what are some of the startup prices before I send you an email? After you guys can look in the links in the description, wherever you experience this. I know most of you are on Podbean and Apple and Spotify, but go over to YouTube and put a name with a face. So if you see her in the grocery store, you can, say hi and do all that, sometimes po-mouthing people do, saying, man, I want to call, but I don't have it. But, what should their kids be studying, especially those of us who have teenagers? And then, when they call you, where does that start price? And I know there's so many services and so many things, but people really need to know if they have it. Because right now, 300,000 Black women have lost their job. Others have lost their job. And some people are excited and some people are nervous.
Okay. So to start with, what kids should know. It's funny, I'm speaking tomorrow at a university on an AI conference, and I'm speaking about AI bias with education. Okay. So, what I would like parents, because I'm a mother too, I would like for people to integrate AI within their children's life. Okay. And this is having people allow their children to work with ChatGTP, for example, just one example. Okay. There was a study that said AI thinks of African Americans in a bright light. Okay. There were terms that came back. It was a study, University of Chicago, true story. You can look it up. And it said AI, when they think of African Americans, they think of brilliant, smart, creative. But then when they think of African American language, it came up and it said dumb and lazy. That was the feedback it got from it. It was a huge study, okay? And so I want people to know, when people use ChatGTP, you have to make sure you know how to work with the AI and put in the right prompts to get the right answers that you're looking for. I hope this makes sense. You have to learn people how to talk and speak with AI, or it's not going to be able to give you what you're looking for. Okay. There are certain words in certain communities that AI may not understand. Okay. And so kids at this very young age, because they're going to be impacted the most, they actually have an advantage, Kellen. So don't resist your children from being involved in AI and asking ChatGTP questions. Okay. You guys can sit down together and work together, and that will lead to a good conversation in how a child can put in amazing prompts and get the answers they're looking for with AI. Okay. And be aware that AI is biased, but we need more of our children to be involved in it. I want them involved and not just being told what to do by AI. Okay. The jobs of the future, I'll tell you, I just saw somebody said in the future, there will be the haves and the have-nots. Okay. So I'm spilling some of the stuff I'm speaking to my audience tomorrow about, but Kellen, you're wonderful. And I wanted to tell you that the haves in the future, somebody said, will be those who can program AI, who know the functions of AI, who know the true purpose of AI and the impact of AI's impact on society. And the have-nots will be just the people who AI is getting used on. Now, that right there is powerful. So I want to make sure your audience understands that they don't fall into the have-not and are just recipients of the AI getting used on them, right? So, you're just not the recipient of getting your face scanned. And maybe there's, inaccurate information coming up on your face being scanned. So I would say for kids in the future to definitely go forward with coding in AI, and even coding is going to be gone, honestly, too. I know a lot of people in the tech industry, and they've been hit tremendously, but you have to get kids involved in engineering and really knowing how to work with the AI. Okay, this is either robotics or on computers. In some function, you have to be able to work with it. I actually tell people also. I encourage my son, he wants to be an attorney, and I think that's another industry that will be disrupted by AI. How about we look into AI law? Because that will be a thing in the future. So anything that your child loves to do, make it surround itself around AI, some part of it, some portion of it, right? Because yes, we're still going to need our plumbers and we're still going to need our craftsmen, but we definitely need people who know the functions of AI, where it's going, the overall picture of AI, and what AI can do as we keep evolving and advancing and dropping new AI, what that's going to do on society. If your child is, within that ecosystem, as far as their major in their careers, they will do extremely well. And as far as pricing, it really depends. It's hard to throw a number out there. So it depends. If it's an individual that's looking for a training from me, a training on, the metaverse or the different tools, the agent, AI agent, the voice agents, how to really use ChatGPT, that can start from, the hundreds, I would say over $500, to the thousands. I mean, it can get pretty up there, but it is worth it. It is worth it. It is a skill. I feel like our schools are not teaching children about AI enough, Kellen. I will tell you, I think in America, they are using AI for the teachers to grade their papers faster or to get their lesson plans completed faster, but it's not teaching our children, our babies, how to work with AI, right? All you hear is people are using AI in college and it's writing a complete paper for them. And it shouldn't be that. If we're working with our kids young enough, they should be able to still think and then work with AI to upscale their thoughts already. It should not be AI is doing their work for them, their homework. They're never going to learn anything that way. They need to learn how to do correct AI prompts after doing their work, putting their work in. So I hope I answered all your questions.
No, you did, and I thank you, and I totally agree with you on all of that. I just know on your website you had core packages, and when people see that without a price, I tell people we're not even opening up this computer for less than $500, because what I'm going to give you is a full lesson that you might have to go to school for who knows how many years, because the reason why the teachers and professors aren't using it to the max is they don't know. And that's only because I've consulted with some of them at some big schools. And they're like, tell me how these kids are cheating. And I said, well, what's the price? And what is cheating now that I have to base it off my memory or base it on the tools that I know and, figure out what the summary, because you guys want this repetitive every year. Oh, write about the Odyssey, write about this, right? I'm trying to create something now. I'm trying to figure out how I can connect with Elon Musk when he goes to Mars. So that you answered it beautifully, and you had said something about the AI law, Albania, and it wasn't clickbait. Just came out with the AI minister, and I had to verify it using my journalist rule of three, and I'm like, I love it, And I love it because I've been told many moons ago, I'll take my hat off for the audience who are watching. You see the hairline, many moons ago could be a long time. I had African bankers tell me what you want to do with technology and AI, it's hard to corrupt, and they're not the only ones, because corruption is everywhere. So yeah, they don't know. But who do you love to work with? Is it small business, mid-size, universities, governments? Who's your key person?
Um, my key person. So, I've worked with a little of all the above, honestly. But I actually took the most gratification in working in government, and it was working with kids. And I created modules, educational fun modules for children in the juvenile justice department. And that was groundbreaking. Okay. And that is an area that is overlooked. They're kids. I love kids, and I feel like they were a group of children who were overlooked. And it's important because these kids one day will get out of their centers and they will be implemented in our society, but they're not learning any type of AI, any type of interaction. They don't get the opportunity to pick up their smartphones like other kids their age, Kellen. Okay. And so it was just such a privilege in working with them when I created that. It was a true privilege. I also like working with college institutions because years ago, I acknowledge there's a big problem in this country. There's a problem when children go and get they get their undergrad degree and then they come out and then they can't find a job to save their life. Okay. It's really sad. And this has been growing. It's nothing new. This has been, happening for years. I even remember when I got out of college, it was so hard for me to get a degree. I'm sorry, to get a job. I wanted to be a speech pathologist. um I wanted to go for it, and it was just so hard. And what did I wind up doing? Because I love speech and language, I wrote my first book years ago. So I used my degree to write a book, honestly, and started a business a long time ago. So I had to pivot. I'm doing what I'm telling people, they should do. I am living proof. I'm not sitting up here like, I'm some expert and I'm different. I have, lived my life thus far through experience, and I'm trying to help people. And so I love the kids. It's harder working with the public schools because, like you said, they're so rigid, and they have the same type of educational, material they give the kids. But, working with the government, with the kids, college institutions, because again, kids in college, they're the future, right? It's harder working with older people. They're very stagnant in what they already know, but younger minds are more flexible, and so when I open up that door to the possibilities, they're off. They get it. And so it's really important for the kids, and it's important for business owners too, because I've been a business owner for years, before, even getting into AI. And it's funny now that I'm into it. I say, oh, if the old Shay knew about this tool, this AI tool, I could have saved so much time. I could have saved so much money. I didn't have to hire this one person to do this. So I have my biases. So I'll tell you, I love the children, working in government, and working, when I say children, higher education, the colleges too, and the business owners. I mean, the big corporate, I enjoy them as well too, but it's more restriction also, with big corporation. They're looking just for, the dollar, saving money, yada yada yada. So I really like the small business owners. I love the colleges and government also. And I feel that our government will be putting out a lot more opportunities to work with them here. When I was working, when I worked with Juvenile Justice Department, that was the first time working with the government, but there were people calling me literally from China and Dubai to work with them, with their government. Like, they've been doing it for years, you all. So we are literally, I honestly feel America is behind, and you have to take it upon yourself to upskill yourself. Like I said, we don't want our society or our government just to upskill, internally and not for the people, right? So all of us have to learn how to work with this. And so that's why those are my favorite groups on who to work with. the most impactful.
Shay loved the kids. Mari ain't the only one. If you were up in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about with the Martin show. If not, go to Netflix or HBO, wherever it's playing. Can you tell us, you had mentioned your first book, and I know I had looked on Amazon looking for a book from you. Tell us about your books, where we can find them, as well as letting us know any community give backs that you are doing or that you plan on doing in the future, and how the community can help you out. So you got a lot there to think about.
Okay. So I don't even know if my book is still on Amazon. I think I took it down because it has nothing to do with AI. I mean, that was, as you said, many, many moons ago. I mean, I have a couple gray hairs up here. That was
They're gonna say stop the cap. But
there's a couple up there, I swear. There's like one or two. But my first book was actually a parenting book. It was a parenting book. And so it was called Worthless Mommy. And so and I'm gonna get in my journey really fast. I went from parenting to I had a production company called FamilyCon, which I loved. It was a piggyback term off of Comic Con, but for the families in the Northeast. I mean, that was huge. That was huge. I love what I did. I brought together families from all over in the Northeast. It was in New Jersey. And I brought them drones. I brought them all futuristic vendors. I mean, we had a circus there. You know, I had movie production companies there, marketing. It was all about futuristic information for families. And then I went and I created a FutureWise Group, and I was actually helping companies implementing technology then and different trends. We were helping them with work from home opportunities within their company. So this was back in like 2019. Yeah. 2019. And so it went from that, and I knew that it was going to be more work from home opportunities, but I did not know it was through COVID. So in 2020, COVID came. I could no longer do, FamilyCon because everything was shut down, right? And so that goes back again, Kellen, into you can't rely on your business through the brick and mortar, right? And so then I got into FutureWise Group, and I sat down. I did symposiums with policymakers, with college presidents, and with students, and we bridged the gap. This was years ago, again, on trying to have kids get the right majors and get internships and get the right jobs. It needs to be a better funnel to have kids go from student to corporate, or student to, a trade school right into business, right into clients. And so that was the big thing, how FutureWise, what we started. It was always about solving future forward issues or problems. And then we went into the technology, okay? Then we went into Metaverse and AI and even esports. I was actually doing trainings, believe it or not, with esports. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't think if your kids are playing games, it's worthless. Do you know your kids can get scholarships to colleges through esports? Yes, they can. Kids can actually go to the military having skills through esports and gaming because they have greater skills in flying drones. Yeah, it's true. So, and even being navigational with the pilots, the navigation center, they actually look for people with those gaming skills too. But that's a whole nother episode, but it's all in technology and what I do, right? So FutureWise Group evolved in all of that. And so I had my book out there in giving back. My sons actually, they have a podcast, they have a show on YouTube, and it's called Esports, Metaverse, and Beyond. So I co-produced that. They were on Esports TV. It was a streaming network. We're no longer on there, but they do have their YouTube channel. And they sit and they talk with professionals, Kellen. They talk to professionals about how they got in their careers, advice for their audience. And their audience is typically between the age of about 13 to 18, 19-year-olds. So that's me helping to give back, or my service in helping my kids give the knowledge to the people, and then I do try to do workshops here and there, they aren't charged. And then even going to this HBCU tomorrow, I really have big hopes in seeing our HBCUs really put forth the right information involving AI in our students, because there's been a huge decline, Kellen, with African American students in colleges. And I know at this point, a lot of people are saying, college is overrated. And, to a certain degree, I understand that. But you have to go for the right thing. Colleges have to teach the right thing, right? And so me speaking tomorrow also, that's me giving back, or through my kids' show, their podcast, putting that information out there, putting the knowledge out there. I do I'll do like a 10-minute consultation with people sometimes to really see how they need my help. I'm not going to force AI on people if I feel like they're not ready. You know what I mean? Like you said, if somebody has to go back to school, or, it's really not for them, they're really not in it. So that's my journey. I hope I answered all your questions on how I give back in my book, which has nothing to do with AI. But again, I'm a mom first. I'm a mom, so I speak from the heart. I'm not out here just about the money. The doors are open for me because of my passion and my love for people. That's why they open. And so, if anybody, really wants to expand their business, I am a hardworking, impactful, entrepreneur who really, I don't want to see anyone in this society left behind in the AI race. And we're on the trajectory of people being left behind. And so, honestly, if anybody, is ready to take that move, then please reach out. There you go.
I appreciate it. And, people say, what does AI and children have to do? Everything. And, Shea has certifications in child nutrition and cooking from Stanford University and Edinburgh. And, so that's what it's like. The more information the more you're going to be valuable. Or there's an old Twilight Zone episode, black and white, and the guy was obsolete. He was a librarian, I believe, and they said your skills are no longer needed, and he was talking about so many great things that we all had to learn or read, and it's like obsolete, and a lot of people are. And I think people think it's going to be people in the more rural areas, but I actually think it's going to be people going to California in the last month and a half, twice. I'm seeing so many young people, so many people I know scared of AI, telling me how bad for the environment it is. And I said, do you know that gas guzzler, how bad that environment is? That truck you have? Are we kidding? But
yeah. I've heard that too.
Yeah. But I love what you're doing. I love that you're, pushing the kids. My kids had roadblocks and they had tenants. And when we found out, my wife was like, we don't know who the heck they're talking to. They can't be on that. But I was excited. I was ready to collect rent all day and turn that into another digital currency. And, I was excited. I was like, you guys, you got it. Like, it paid off what I've been trying to put you. Because entrepreneurship, to me, is what we should be teaching in elementary. It's what was taught to me then. And it's the future, whatever your skill set. You don't have to be a genius. You can just have a skill set that someone else has overlooked.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. In North Carolina, because I believe that's where you are.
I'm back and forth between there and New Jersey.
In New Jersey?
Today I'm in North Carolina.
Okay. I promise I don't have a tracker. We're not doing any fancy stuff. Not now, at least. But the HBCU that you are speaking, is that AT&T?
It's A&T. It is. Yeah.
Okay. They're more technical, so if it works there, it will work for all. Because HBCUs, and clap to you, HBCUs are not the easiest to deal with. I went to one. I love my HBCU. I met my wife at the HBCU.
Cool. Which one, if you don't mind me asking? Which
The Harvard of the South.
Okay.
But they're not easy to do projects like you're doing, and to do things that haven't been done for the last decade at least, because you have people there who man, they've been there for 4 decades, like an African leader, an African president, just been there, stinking up the place sometimes. And I'm saying that because we need a change, and we need to let the youth who are graduating also start teaching, because I was teaching in grad school. And I was teaching because a professor said, I don't know how to build websites. I've been teaching this class for 2 years, and I thank him for letting me get in there with, how we do it. You have an AI website. I don't know if you have the app almost coming out, but it could be done. Give the people some game, wrapping up, because I just asked for an hour of your time, how to best connect with you, what socials, because they're not going to find you on Instagram. I don't know if they'll find you on TikTok or Facebook. We surely didn't. And we looked hard. So let them know how the best, next steps, and maybe that first step, getting them a website or helping them build an AI agent to scrape the internet to find customers. Give them your spiel, and I just want to thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you so much, Kellen. You are amazing. And I think in your past life, you were a comedian, because I'm getting it all today and I love it. Um, uh, okay, so you will not find me on too many platforms. It's funny, I am involved in AI, but I am big on privacy. I'm big on safety and privacy. So you can reach me through LinkedIn. Again, my name is Shea Richburg. You can find me at FutureWiseGroup.com. We are also, though, pivoting. We're starting a spinoff off of FutureWise Group too. So I'm not going to say the name just yet, because we're coming out with some really big things with this new company. But I believe you can still find me at FutureWiseGroup.com. You can find me definitely at LinkedIn. You can always catch me through, well, not me personally, but Esports, Metaverse, and Beyond on YouTube. I co-produce that. Those are my little ones on there, bringing the knowledge to you. And then I'm trying to think. What was the last thing you said, Kellen? Oh, and I'm sorry, you said about AI. Yes. I will tell you, for those people who are in need of a website, or a easy website, just fast. My go-to, there are so many, but I love Lovable, because I'm lovable. I love Lovable. I love how you can put in, let me tell you all, websites require brain power. Websites require, okay, what are you going to put, what are your services, a little about yourself, your board members, whatever you have, right? And some people, they have the product, they're genius at what they do here, but then, they're not the best writers. So you have, tools that can help you upload, the words you want to put on your website, even the color schemes. I mean, everything for you, just like that, in like about 20 minutes, literally. And so it's things like that, examples like that, on how you should use AI. We think everybody has a website and it's so easy. And honestly, I think website creation, if you go to traditional coders, it's obsolete now. They're going to charge you tons of money. I'm actually cheap. If you come to me and ask me to help you work through creating your Lovable website, it's cheaper than going through the traditional, right? Kellen, you know what I'm talking about. And so, it's easier, it's faster, it's not as hard to get these things done, but you need to know how to do it, for that reason alone. You need to know how to get a voice agent who can talk to you, pick up the phone when somebody calls, a client calls, and they'll talk for you. Or you can have a digital replica of yourself. Those are a little harder for me to explain, so I can't explain those right now. But definitely the website, if you want to check out a Lovable, that's something that's really easy. But what you really want to do, what I really do for my clients, is I stack tools together. So you have an amazing machine. So, your business is professional. It's out there. It's getting you the clients. So it's not just about using this one Lovable. It's really stacking them. And you have this amazing professional company. And it's getting to the right people, the people in your niche. And it's not wasting your time. And you're not talking to people who said, yeah, I like your service, and you never hear from them again. It's no longer that when you deal with AI tools and when working with me, I guarantee you. So it has been wonderful speaking with you all today. I couldn't give too much information, too technical, but if you are looking for a service as an entrepreneur, you want to upskill your business, or a student, if you're a parent and you just want to get your child more involved in AI, I do personal consultings too, because it's so important. It is so important. There's so much information out there that one cannot do it on their own, or it will take you a long time. So it was so nice talking with you all, and I look forward to hearing for whoever is ready to elevate and go into this new society we are going in.
You guys have got the game from someone in AI who may look like you, whether you say, hey, I'm a woman, or I'm a Black woman, or I'm just a nerd who likes the tech. The links will be in the description. I'm going to leave you guys with this. And of course, millionairex.ai is proof that anybody can build an app and a website right now. We did it in less than a day. But when you guys, and what Shea was talking about, prompting is like dating. If you come in with some dry, recycled lines, generic prompts, as we call them, take her to Applebee's thinking you did something, you're going to get generic results. I'm the king of dating. That's my wife. But when you show up with some authenticity, when you're authentic, you got a vibe, you're cool, you go detailed, and you listen to what she likes. Because AI is a woman, right? AI is a woman.
Of course.
Up top. When you go deeper, you're going to get more out of it, and it's going to, pay you back then some, because a woman too will always make you more money. That's why you guys get married. So you guys have gotten the game. Make sure you comment wherever you experience. Make sure you like it. But most importantly, make sure you share this game with someone. It will change their life. Y'all be blessed.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stretch the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Coleman, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.